Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Brickshottas with Billy Antonio.
Fit them old bricks. Ballin' like a with all these bricks.
Welcome back. Another episode of Brickshottas with Billy Antonio. It is me, Antonio. The OG way to do it is the only way, apparently. Antonio, we have new NBA champions. We had a great pre-show. I think that probably was one of our best pre-shows we ever had.
For sure.
Found out some interesting, intimate stuff about each other. We won't get onto it on the air, but we did, and it was very. You know how, back, I'm thinking about my best friends from, you know how, you got that one guy in elementary school who's your, quote unquote best friend, and then you have the new guy, and then your high school best friend, and you just just apart. And it's you have these little intimate stories, right? And it's you and I didn't have one until just right now, and it's just such a. It's
Shout out to my dog Kimball, still my best friend.
Shout out
till now, Cortez. That's because we cousins. So yeah, but yeah, it don't count, but it do. Yeah. I'm still laughing about that shit. That's kind of funny.
Hilarious. But we got new NBA champions.
We do. And let's get into it.
City, the storybook season is complete.
Hey, shout out to the OKC Thunder TikTok.
Shout out to OKC NBA champions. If y'all see, the title of the show is "What the Wthali." Wthali tore his Achilles, first
great title,
viral moments of the game. But
he's on pace to have 62 points.
I told you, Billy, I did shout out to Shooter. Shooter said that Indiana was gonna make it. That still blows my mind that they made it out the East. Jason Tatum did get hurt, but I do think that even without Jason Tatum, the Celtics should have, went out the East, but they didn't. Halliburton hit not one, not two, but three. End of the game. I got you, sucker shots.
Yeah, looked like he was right on that way to superstardom, right?
That's what I'm saying. And it's unfortunate, right? You never want injuries to alter a game, but injuries are a part of the game, right?
Yep.
So
appreciate the thank you.
Appreciate y'all. So I hate that it had to be decided like that, but I told you, shout out to Cam. Cam is an OKC fan. He been saying OKC was going to win, but I broke it down, bro. I told you Wthali didn't have enough.
We said 5 and then 6.
Yeah, he be drunk. Miles Turner didn't do shit, Billy.
Bad series.
He was terrible. Pascal played well, but when you have Chet playing well, you got Hardenstein knowing that Miles Turner ain't a real center, so I'm gonna get my points, them extra points that you don't think about, because Hardenstein ain't one of them household names that you care about.
Yep.
But he get points and he get boards, and that should add up, right?
Caruso went off for a game. Lou Dort went off for a game.
Jalen Williams 40 ball, shit like that.
You have the best player in the league right now.
Exactly. You got the MVP, who was the Finals MVP, playing on a team with an amazing season. OKC was the best team this year, and they showed it all the way to the end. I didn't have the Pacers winning this one, but I do think the Halliburton thing kind of stopped us from seeing a better Game 7 because, like I told you, they the series. This series was for real basketball fans. It wasn't for people who want to see 1,000 points, 1,000 threes. Like, it was good defense, both sides of the ball. Stars being stars at times. Better team won.
Yep.
I think Rick
Good coaching was in there a lot.
Yeah, I think Rick might have outcoached Buddy, but he lost. He lost the fucking war, right? He won some battles, but he lost the war. And it's kind of hard to win the war when your best fighter and just go down.
Yeah.
What you think about it? What did you think about it?
So my first thought, if we're just talking about the series in general, was just a great series. Now, not every game was super close. Not every game, you know what I'm saying? Not every game was like, oh, who's gonna win it? You know, any game 7 series you could look at and say this was a good series. But like you said, the injuries just, it sucks. And then the worst part of these injuries, and I'll even go back to Boston too with Tatum and with Halliburton, they're going to miss next year. So now you get these great teams and these great players that are missing this. Like Indiana could be a lottery team, essentially, right? And then again, I know I'm being a negative Nancy, Tonio, and you can stop me when I'm wrong, but now Indiana could be, let's say, a lottery team, but the East is so weak that that's what they're doing. And second thought was, I'm scared for the league to it's a copycat league in every league, right? Yeah. I'm scared that a lot of teams are going to look at how the Thunder just did that, and they're going to copy the let's tank, let's trade our best players for a bunch of draft picks that might not matter. Let's make all the draft picks that don't matter. Let's make them into bigger draft picks, and then OKC hitting on those second round picks and those late first round picks when they had to. They had Shea at 21 years old sitting the last 4 games to make sure we're still good enough in the lottery and our chances are high enough to get a great pick. I'm just really worried for the NBA in general, because that's just going to make the league way worse, and that's not what the NBA needs. That's just not. Because like I said, it is a copycat league, and I'm just worried. Those bad teams are going to just be like, okay, let's be bad and just let's tank. And now you have half the league tanking to try to do this OKC route to get to the playoffs, or to go win a chip. Obviously is the goal. So they think, oh, we'll do it this way. We'll get an MVP candidate. We'll do this. We'll get the best player in the draft. Da 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 da. But it's like, no, you're not going to draft like Sam Presti. That's not the answer. Antonio, my final thought on this is fuck Kevin Durant. I'm so glad he wasn't a part of this.
Shout out to Lil B.
Yeah, shout out. Well, Lil B said he talked to E40 and he apologized. I don't know if you saw that.
They got the beefing again just this week.
What?
Lil B said he just be chasing teams, and Kevin Durant called him a lame ass and said, "You try to give me a feature, broke boy."
He did say that, didn't he? You're saying it, I'm starting to remember Twitter. Yeah, but Tonio, so fuck Kevin Durant. I know I said that was my last one, but my second one is I feel so bad for the city of Seattle. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, the best thing that could have came out of this, great OKC team, great finals win. Hey, you're putting a trophy up in Oklahoma City. Awesome, right? But if I'm Seattle, if I'm the city of Seattle, how do we get an NBA team? Like, who is there a guy that has to come make one? Because now you got Seattle and Vegas, and you're going to give me what? Now is it going to be to 32 teams, just like everyone else? Because now hockey, I know we don't talk hockey a lot, but you have Seattle and you have Utah. They just made the NHL 32 teams.
Yeah,
the NFL is famous for 32 teams. I don't think they're getting another one, but do you think that's the way where we're going to go for the NBA? Not the transition. Sorry for getting off the championship.
You got to. You got to. You got to expand. There's gonna be a Vegas team for sure.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be a Vegas team because they seeing all the popularity that the Aces are getting. Yeah. So why wouldn't you come in and jump on that bandwagon?
Real quick, Tonio, sorry for cutting you off. Hey, the 5 people in. Hey, Do we think this OKC run is great? Do we think they can run it back? What are we looking at with all the they don't have a lot of salary cap? Do we like OKC next year? Are they the favorite to win it in the 2 early predictions? And then what's going to happen with the East with your 2 teams, the Celtics and the Pacers? Their stars are out. Is Jaylen Brown, who I think can carry a team, is he going to get them far into the playoffs? Let us know what you think. Just give us some comments. We got 5 people in. Let's go.
Oh, well, first of all, going back to I think Vegas gets a team for sure. And then you got to go back to Seattle. You got to bring the Supersonics back.
Not Seattle, insert new team name. No, just you're the Seattle Supersonics. That's it. Great color scheme. Oh, man. They were the first ones, too, to put the city I don't know what you call it now. It's been so long since I've been in a city, like the city skyline on the court. That was so fucking cool back in the day. I was a little kid, and I was like, that's the coolest fuck. NBA Live 06. I was like, that was my team every year. Every time I would just fantasy draft. Anyways.
I really just I think they do expand. The NBA got to do something because they're going to highlight these injuries, right? The Halliburton injury, just the latest and the one that's on the grand scale of thing because Jason Tatum got hurt in the playoffs as well. That changed the Celtics trajectory, right? And then Halliburton, they would have beat them boys.
Okay.
Halliburton getting hurt. Like I said, I still think OKC would have pulled it off. I don't have no injury. Oh, the injury stopped it. I think OKC would have won before people be like, oh, they said it. Fuck y'all. I just think that it would have been a better game. It wouldn't have been a fucking blowout. But they're going to look into something, Billy, because like they broke it down, the NBA is playing at its fastest pace that it's ever played, like ever.
Yeah, the playoffs were real physical, too. I don't think we're talking about that enough, Tonio.
I like it. I like the playoffs being physical, but you can't just switch it up in the playoffs. Like, you're not going to call these same fouls in the playoffs that you call in the regular season. Then you got to do it one way. Now, me personally, I like the aggressiveness, but I do want you to call a foul. Hey, if somebody get fouled, call a foul, right? But don't let the fouls change the game. A foul can change the game because
we talked about this year, the ticky-tack fouls. What about those? Is that what we're trying to get rid of? The ticky-tacky? But that's where I think, Tonio, the problem with your statement is let's get rid of a lot of the foul calls, or excuse me, let's call the fouls. But it's like, dude, it's the playoffs. Like maybe if you're flopping a little hard, like I don't want to call that because you're like even if it is a foul, like you're over exaggerating trying to get the call. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something we got to kind of stop. And even the great Dwayne Wade, he was one of the perfection artists of.
Did you just kill D Wade?
On accident. I just, you talk about these legends, dude, and it's funny, man. We keep getting old, and it's like I just assume all the great ones. I'm just like, that's just I can't believe I slipped up like that. That's so bad. That'll be clipped for sure. I was just talking about NBA Live 06. That was my shit right there on the PSP. But Tonio, what do you mean with those foul calls? Like, you like the aggressiveness, but you want the foul? I don't think you can get both. Am I tripping, or do you want both?
No, I don't want both. I just don't want you to change the trajectory of the games with a foul. Like, oh shit, I missed a foul on this end. Let me go down here and call it right then.
It's crazy. I'm on the opposite of that. I still think you need those makeup fouls because it's not, bro. If you fucked up the foul, we can't stop. Especially basketball. It's so fast. You know that it's jazz. It's quick. It's hidden, right? But you can't. I did fuck that up. Let the next close foul I have to give because it's just to give them the same 2 shots. That's all I'm saying. And I think as a coach, and Tonio, maybe you can correct me here, but if I'm an NBA coach or a basketball coach, right? If we do get one of those fouls, like a bad call or a close call or whatever, in my head I'm thinking we might get a makeup call later. So I'm not changing the way we're going to play because I think I'm going to get that call eventually. Maybe the 2 buckets will even themselves out, and we're back on the same game anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe a lot of coaches are overthinking some of those. Maybe overthinking some of those strategies.
I mean, I get it, right? I get like you just like, all right, we got to get them on the back end, but I just think those files, like those back end files, because those back end files usually go to the star players, like or go to the players that play a detrimental role in the game, and then you just change the game that way. Like we've seen like
let's call it on a bench guy real quick. Like just
like if you're gonna give me a makeup, let it be somebody that don't. But we've seen it called on a Draymond, and then that changed some shit. Like and you just like fuck, you know, right? Or you see it called on
he's gonna pick up a couple more, you know.
You see it called on like a Kevin Love, you know, he was instrumental to those. Like you see it called on those people. You see it called on Jaylen Brown or something like that. You see it called on Giannis. Like,
I like that. I like that part. That's good.
Yeah, that changes shit. So it's like, all right, you missed it. Boom. If it didn't make I don't know, because if you miss it and then the team go up like 10 and you like, fuck, got to get them back to 8.
Yeah, let's slow down their momentum because we gave it to them. Yeah.
But if you get it back on that player that was gonna get them back within 2 and tie the game up, then you still change it because now I got to bring that player out of the game. So it's a lose-lose.
The Knicks situation too, right? Where they had Jalen Brunson out so they could play a better defense, and now the Knicks maybe could have had 8 more points, but they didn't have him out there because of foul trouble. Tonio, that probably was my favorite take you've ever had.
It's hard, bro. So I'm just like, all right, bro, you missed it. Cool. Because, Billy, it's the game, right?
Right.
Somebody gonna foul you, dog. Like, you gonna get fouled. That's gonna happen. Like, that's gonna come back through. You gonna catch that. But to make it up like that, that's a little nasty, I think.
Yeah. You just totally convinced me on the other side. As you eloquently put it, and I like it was just great how you just did that. That was awesome. And your Yankee hat's cold as fuck. So it's just
I appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to A.
Big shout out to AB. Appreciate it.
So yeah, I want to see the NBA officiated more like the playoffs, more specifically the finals. Because at times they didn't call like that little fucking I don't want to see that.
And Tony, I was gonna say, man, I think too, and this is another spot I need you to correct me if I'm just out here tripping. I thought you were drinking the margarita waters or whatever.
That water.
Okay.
All right. It's gone.
Okay. But so it's kind of like, you know how in the regular season in the NFL, you and I this season especially, we're just crushing the Chiefs for all these crazy calls they're getting.
Yeah,
they didn't get none of them calls in the Super Bowl, but in the NBA, it's different. When you get to the finals, it's like, this is the finals. You don't call those. But in the Super Bowl, we never really say like, well, let them play, blah blah blah. We feel the crew. It was Ed Hockley with his huge arms, or not Ed Hockley, it's Sean now because his word is old. But you know what I'm saying? And it's like with the NBA, it's always a little like, oh yeah, no, you're not getting that in the playoffs. LeBron, you're going to get some calls, sure. Now Giannis will get some calls. Now it's going to be Shea that's getting the calls. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those. But I love how you put that. That was great, man. I really hope that was a reel so we could put that out because that was
for sure. So speaking of Kevin Durant and how you hate him, I think a lot of people saw this coming. Just need to get there. Kevin Durant to Houston. How you feel about it?
If I take out the hate and the bias with Lil B, as soon as Lil B said he hated him, I remember it was like in 2010. I was like, all right, yeah, fuck Kevin Durant. I was on Lil B's side so bad, but that's probably grown into this hatred I have as a grown man to another grown man. Hey, mama. Hey,
mom.
How you gonna take yourself out now? Okay, so but to get to the trade. If I'm Kevin Durant, I don't know if Houston's where I want to go. They need a scorer on not necessarily a scorer. I think that's another thing that's being misconstrued in this, Tonio. I don't know if you can still hear me, but it's one of those things. I think it's being misconstrued. They need a scorer. They need a bucket getter is the difference, I think. And that's where Kevin Durant comes in because he's a straight bucket getter. He's not going to be the dude that's going to be the leader of the locker room. He's a vet. He's 35, not too old, not, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna get you about 24 a game. But as Houston needed that. But if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm going to San Antonio where I can absolutely count on Wemby to give me that. That's just me, or even Orlando, where, hey, Blanchero, you're young as fuck. I want you to score all the time. I'm going to hit these threes when I need to hit these threes. Is that how you took the trade, or am I tripping?
I think Houston just needed that veteran presence. I don't think Fred VanVleet was the veteran. Now you got KD. They won 52 games.
Jalen Green too.
They won 52 games, Billy.
I know. Ime Udoka, though, is a fucking dog. And we said that, Tonio, when he went to Houston. We're like, hold on. Houston's going to be something. Even though they're young. I know they're young, right? But with like you said, with a presence like KD, they're going to be fine. I'm not saying, but is this team a title contender just with KD and Ime Udoka?
Yeah. Yeah, bro, because you still got Jalen. You still got, bro, they were like number 3.
And they lost in the first round. They lost in the first round.
Because they don't got no vet. You got all young dudes.
He gets them through 3 rounds to the finals.
It's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant at 35.
I don't care. Ain't nobody been able to guard him at no age.
Well,
he ain't lose that shit. Like, I don't know, man. My mama, my fault, Mom. I don't think people really looking into this like they should be, bro. It's Kevin Durant with a young squad. Like, he gonna run, they gonna run, and then when it's time to like clutch up, now I got top 5 one-on-one player in the league history on my team.
Yeah,
I know I can go to him and get a bucket for sure. Like, that's a guarantee. Like, you go to them as young Houston, you don't know who's gonna close the games out for you. Now you got Kevin Durant, and it's like, okay, I got a closer for sure. For sure.
I love how it's like, I got KD. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's literally what you just said. Like, all right, yeah, that's good. What hey, big shout out to Dre. I know he's a Rockets fan. Is he excited? That's another thing.
Let me go, because I'll tell you. Shout out to Dre. Dre, don't get mad at me. This Dre words verbatim, because me, him, Butler, Darian, we in a chat. Shout out to my dogs.
Hey, shout out AB and I'm sorry, you said Darian, right?
Yeah.
Darian too. Also shout out, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Leave us a comment. Darian, what are you
doing? So Dre said Butler asked him how y'all Houston boys feel, because both of them from Houston, right? So Dre say
AB is from Houston?
No, Darian.
Okay.
Darian. Dre say, I don't know yet, for real. Seem like they trying to win right now, which I'm cool with. But if we don't, of course, people gonna act like they were so against. But it should be lit though, and you know, just like I know,
okay.
You know, like I know, Billy, that is gonna be the narrative, because it's gonna be with KD going there. It's gonna be championship or bust. It ain't gonna be no, well, they got to the second round. Nah, you got Kevin Durant now.
It's gonna be the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant. It's the same thing.
But yeah, but a different squad, bro. So you gotta think, like, and he also said he hoped that Jalen find that consistency because he's young. And like I said, when you get a dog like Kevin Durant on your team, well, you ain't got no choice but to be.
Yeah, but they traded Jalen though. He was
no, wrong Jalen. You thinking the other Jalen? I'm talking Jalen Green. Yeah, he's not going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, man, like, because we done seen Jalen go off at spurts and he'll get you a 40 ball.
Sure. Yeah, but he's getting you a 40 ball in, you know what I'm saying, in Washington.
I mean, but it don't matter though, Billy, because some of the nights that KD can take off. Like, all right, bro, we playing Washington. I don't need to show you my best.
Okay.
But when we play Denver, I got you.
I like that. I like that too.
When we play OKC, I got you. Like, I just need you them nights where I can just score a cool 22, 23, and you go get a young fella. Like,
no Ash.
That's what they got now. And then we're not gonna Boom he good. Like, he not a household name for most people, but he's a good big, bro. Like, he'll go and get you 20 and 15.
Yep.
Billy, you need that. You need that. So I just I think Houston might be dangerous, dog. I think they might be dangerous.
Is Phoenix a good team? Let me ask you that now.
So they just went and got tonight. They just went and got Mark Williams, right? They just got a center.
Okay.
It depends. All right. So if Phoenix finds a way to keep Devin Booker, I think Devin Booker is better off without KD. I know that sounds crazy, but now you ain't got to worry about touches. Like, I'm Devin Booker. I'm going to go get 40 every night.
Yeah, but we've also seen Devin Booker go get 40, and they were the worst team in the league until Chris Paul.
We've seen him go get 40 with like one of the worst rosters in the league too. His roster not bad. You go get Mark Williams. Mark Williams. The Lakers was banking on Mark Williams to be in this position to go play, right? And then for whatever reason, it didn't work out.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. So like, if Mark Williams go get you, like I said, bro, as a big now, if you give me 10 rebounds and 15 points, we in good position. Well, Mark Williams showed you, like, in Charlotte, I'll go get you 30 and 15 rebounds, bro.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I don't know what Phoenix does. Because if they trying to do like a complete overhaul, then I don't know.
So, Steve Tonio, and that goes back to my point. I think what worries me is they're going to do the OKC route, and they're going to be like, oh, here's Devin Booker. Give me 10 first-round picks or whatever. Because if doesn't – also, Tonio, too, we didn't really get – I know we talked about Desmond Bane last week, but for Kevin Durant, you got 5 first-round picks. Technically, it's 4 because one of them was a swap. For Desmond Bane and Kevin Durant, you stay young. The Rockets stayed young. I think that's the biggest part of this trade. Is that they stayed young. They stayed hungry, which is I think hard in the NBA to find hungry, like especially a hungry young team. Whereas Sam Presti got those younger guys to be like, hey, we might have a bad season. We're gonna ride it out, and I promise I'm gonna get us there. And he did. And I wonder how many GMs are going to do that to these young guys, and these other young guys, depending on who they are, depending on how the team is, are going to be like, nah, fuck all this, dude. We suck. We need this. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of – because if you have an SGA, like you added an Alex Caruso, you get a Lou Dort in the second round, like that's hard to do. And I think that's where I'm scared Phoenix might get into, a Washington will get into, a Portland's going to get into. As much as I like Chauncey Billups, I don't see Chauncey really doing that with whoever his GM. I feel like he'd call his GM out and be like, nah, we ain't tanking. We're trying to win every game we can win. So I could see that being an issue. Denver, before we go on, I know we got to get on to other topics too, but with Denver, I'm looking at the NBA, Tonio, after this as a full – I want to see the full spectrum of the NBA, right? Denver with letting go of Mike Malone is crazy to me. He's probably going to New York to go to that team and try to help them get over that hump at Thibodeau. And it's crazy because it sucks. And we've talked about the Nick Nurses and the who's the Bucks coach too that got fired after they won. It just
Coach
Bud, right? Like all these coaches that are getting let go for
Dwayne Casey,
who was just. But again, and that's where it sucks because these coaches
started with Mark Jackson.
It did, and that's what I'm saying, Tonio, is like the NBA could be on this just trajectory of just these coaches that the only problem too, man, and let me just get to it with the Mark Jackson firing, which was bad hindsight. Steve Kerr's got you some titles. Now, could Mark have done the same thing? Yes, but that's not what we saw. And now Mark, he's just so great. I love him on commentary. I don't want him to have a coaching job. I don't know how selfish that is of me.
No.
But you know what I'm saying?
Bruh shot his shot at Savannah James on TV. Bruh said, with all due respect, I'll knock out the park.
All right, hey, if you're LeBron, are you upset with Mark Jackson?
Hell no. I know I got a bad one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, all right, yeah.
Bro, I know my wife look good, you know. I do knock her out of the park. You hear me? So, hey, bro, if ain't nobody looking
at him.
He's been
married a couple years. He's probably not knocking out of the park anymore. He's probably just hitting doubles. You know what I'm saying?
But
please tell me that's real. God, I want that to be a real story.
But I just, his commentary is better. I would trade Mark Jackson for hosting every show that Reggie Miller is on. I don't.
Dude, Reggie is great. You're crazy, dude.
Reggie is corn. he Reggie Miller though.
You don't think? Look, okay. I'm glad you said he's Reggie Miller though. Okay,
yeah, like I'm gonna listen, but I'm gonna be like, bro, what are you talking about? And then he biased. He's biased as fuck. He just like Mark Jackson. Like Mark Jackson, anytime the Warriors playing somebody, yeah, this team ain't as good as the Warriors.
You know, I set that team up. Like,
yeah, hell yeah. So, but
it was like with Van Gundy. It was either Steve or Jeff. I can't remember when he started calling games after the Dwight Howard. He's like, this Magic team is just so good, and you're like, yeah. Like,
so
that's why I fucked with Bill Walton too for a lot, because those Blazers teams were good, but Bill Walton didn't give a fuck. He was like, the Lakers are so good, and you're like,
Bill Walton dead. Rest in peace.
He died.
Yeah. Shout out to him. So you said that.
I was just gonna throw it in there. He was the commentator on NBA Shootout 2004. That was like my first game ever on the PS2. Was NBA Shootout 04. My man, Bill Walton was just great on commentary, and I remember watching basketball, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's the guy from the game." Because I'm 10, I don't fucking know anything, and I just remember being like, "Yeah, that's the same dude who's like LeBron James lighting it up from 3 every time I was like the Cavaliers." It was a great time.
So, speaking of them sorry teams that got better or trying to get better, the Pelicans and the Wizards did make a trade. Pelicans sent Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey in the 40th overall pick in this draft that's going on right now. Shout out to Cooper Flagg for going number 1. We're not going to dwell into that till next week.
The Pelicans had what pick? The 5th?
I have no idea. Probably though.
Where they were trying to get the draft position.
But the Wizards received CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick.
Okay, Washington. They look like they're trying to do something.
No, bro. The Pelicans trying to do something. I think Jordan Poole is up there struggling with being mediocre. I don't think that. Now I think the Pels probably double down on keeping Zion now.
Mm-mm.
You think he going to?
Absolutely, dude. Look, Tonio, we've been doing this show for almost 4 years now, which is crazy to say. I feel so old already just doing that. Tonio, I've been telling you, Zion's been a bust. I was telling you before I met you.
I told you, and I've been combating it. When he on the court, he 27-7. That's no bust numbers.
That doesn't, bro, I get it. I'm not saying just because you can put up good numbers, it's just like with RG3. It's the same thing. Just because you did do these great things doesn't make you a bust. It doesn't make you not a bust. It makes you a bust because you're not living up to what you should have been or quote unquote could have been. Zion's not doing it, man. And I think there's teams, and it's like I said with this OKC thing, man, I'm going to keep going back to this because it's really scary for me looking at how the NBA is going to go. I can see the Pelicans or excuse me, not the Pelicans. I can see some other team coming to the Pelicans and being like, hey, we'll give you all this for Zion because we're going to sell merch. We're going to fucking live it up here. I could see him like Joel Embiid is the same thing with 76ers. I think Joel Embiid is going to be traded too. I think it's going to be this crazy, weird. We're going to kind of go back to the LeBron era of Big Three, the Kobe, Lakers teams, the Celtics. We're going to go kind of back to that and have a lot of really, really bad NBA teams. Just
I think so.
Awful teams, and that's what I don't like. I know we got 2 people in too. We just had 4.
Well,
4 likes.
There's way more. It's like switched across Twitch. It's weird. I looked into it. It'd be way more. You just see the people that's watching on StreamYard. It's kind of crazy.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Because there's people watching on YouTube. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, appreciate it.
Twitch. Shout out to y'all, and shout out to the people that's here on Facebook. So Billy, I think because the Hawks went and got Kristaps, right? They got Porzingis.
I like it if you keep Trae Young. What's up, Shooter? I'm glad that you're only caring about Cam and not saying hey to us. Shooter, again, one of my favorite. Shooter, we're going to get into some triple option. Shooter, I saw that you're a fan of triple option. We're going to get into that in just a little bit after we get all this. Yeah.
Once again, Shooter. Dude. That's where Cam is.
I like that it says Brickshottas you just because it just says that we are the ones that are drunk. Yeah. That's the fun thing.
Kristaps went there. Drew Holiday is pissed because he in Portland. He's pissed.
But you're with does being with Chauncey Billups not add something? Does it not like?
I mean, it do, but Drew Holiday ain't no Chauncey Billups type of guard. Drew Holiday is a henchman. He gonna go down there and get dirty. He ain't caring about scoring, being no facilitator or none of that. He want to go down there.
Yeah, but Chauncey wasn't really worried about scoring either. He was worried about having the best.
Chauncey could. They call him Big Shot Bill.
No, I know. I'm not saying.
They don't call Drew Holiday that.
Am I just overstating? Like, I would be so excited to play for Chauncey Billups. Okay, all right.
It depends on the guard. Drew Holiday ain't that type of guard. Drew Holiday want to go to a contender that he can play defense for and be in the playoffs. Portland ain't that team.
Yet, what if they are? They could be.
Not. It's the West, Billy. They got so far to come up.
I know,
so far. And I know you want them to be good, but it's hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know.
I do root hard for Portland, but I just love Chauncey Billups so much, dude. I loved him obviously in Detroit. I loved him in Denver when they made it to the Western Conference Finals with Melo. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
It was just I want him to do so well. I saw Portland was also in the market for Trae Young too. Did you see any of that? But with them getting Porzingis, I think there's no way they trade Trae Young now. Daniel Hunter, am I tripping? He's still on Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that Atlanta team, especially in a weaker East. The West is so hard.
I mean, Trae Young almost did it by himself, so now you have Porzingis.
He's not the same guy. Am I tripping? I don't think he's the same guy anymore, dude.
You talking about Porzingis?
No, Trae Young.
No, he better than what you think. Trae Young carried them by itself.
No, I know, but I'm saying the last 2-3 years. I mean, is it?
Nah, Trae Young. I mean, you get tired, man. Like you keep putting the team on your back, you can't shiver, but so much. God damn it, can't be ice cold, but so much, bro. You need the help. I don't think Porzingis is the final. Ice cold.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Billy. But I don't think that Porzingis is the final stop for them as far as getting somebody to help Trae Young. I know they plan to keep Trae Young.
Yeah.
And I plan on being in Atlanta a lot, so I want to go to a lot of them games. I know them tickets.
Are we going to be closer to VA or to like
we closer to DZ, but the Wizards suck.
Yeah, but those tickets have got to be cheap.
They are not, because it's still DC. I went to they played somebody sorry as hell. Tickets were $140. I was mad as fuck. And I didn't sit nowhere close to the floor. I was mad as fuck. New Orleans, I paid $104. I was on the second row. Like right there behind the players. I want to go somewhere.
Hey, shout out to Ronnie. Last year it was the when LeBron broke the scoring record in LA, or 2 years ago. Ronnie, one of my boys from work, he went to the Pelicans game, the one before they went back to LA, where LeBron had like 16 just to make sure he didn't score. He was sitting there. He probably paid, I think he said like 205 or something for close. It was pretty close. But he was they knew LeBron wasn't doing it, so the tickets were a little cheaper. And he was just saying LeBron wasn't even sweating. And I just remember, I'll never forget that, because he knew it was a crazy way to do it. Now, hockey, Tony, when we get up there, we're going to a Capitals game. I just want you to know that. You're going to go.
I'm cool with that, bro, because I go to Admirals games because they $7.
Oh, is that like a pro, semi-pro hockey, or is that a like
Norfolk Admirals semi-pro? Their team is, what is Boston? The
Bruins.
The Bruins. They get pulled to the Bruins.
Oh, tight. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we can go $7 every time. You military, it's easy.
Yeah,
we can go, and you get drunk for $7 whole pitch. So, and all they do is fucking fight, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I should have been coming to watch hockey for a long time, because they just.
I will say, if we go to a hockey game, you got to remember my dad was a semi-pro hockey player. Fucking right here, it comes out, because I was like, they suck. Slow, sucks, bad pass. I'm sitting at loud. I told you about the time when I went to the Seawolves game, and this guy was playing like ass, and I was just, he can't pass. He can't even pick up the puck. Blah blah blah. His family was sitting in the row in front of me and Brea, and I was just dogging this guy. Like, it was so bad, dude. They like turned around. I didn't realize till she said something, because they had his jersey number. Because I wasn't looking at the numbers. I was just looking at the play, right? And I was like, oh, fuck. And the whole third period, I just shut up, because that's when I realized. I was like, oh, shit. And I
Billy, you're not finna get me fucked up by white people at a hockey game, bro. For you.
No, you should be there just like, no, he's doing good. He's doing good. Just
But so that's all the trades tonight. Like I said, next week we'll talk the last NBA as far as how the draft went tonight. But Billy,
you want to do some overreactions next week?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
But it's time to get back to what the sport everybody in America loves. I'm not talking baseball. I'm talking football, Billy. Last week we talked about we talked about the top 5 college teams. We broke it down. Shooter was in here saying who he thought. He was wrong, but he cool because he a loyal fan.
One of my favorite Facebook friends.
Yeah, Shooter funny. We gonna go to the NFL. Billy, give me your top 5 NFL teams. Too early to tell NFL favorites.
So it's been a long time since I've had to do this. We're live. I am going to take a bathroom break, so I'm going to leave it to Tonio after I'm going to drop my top 5, and you're going to tell everybody your thoughts on that top 5. So Tonio, I need you to drop me after I go. Okay.
All right, I got you.
The number 1 team in the NFL this year is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. Wait for me to come back, and then we're going to go over that. The number 1 team in the NFL is the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry about it. Number 3 is the Eagles. The best roster in the NFL by far. They did great in the draft. We saw it last year, Tonio. You and I were on as soon as that draft happened, we were like, oh, Philly, they took their weakest part and they were like, add everybody and we're going to figure it out, right? Number 4, give me Detroit. The Lions. Just they had a backward year this year. I think this is the year they take that step again, right?
Yeah.
And then number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love what they're doing on offense. I love what they did in the draft. You got to take me out.
I
I'll
got
be
you.
right back.
I got you. Don't worry. All right, so we're gonna start with number 5. Billy got me in by myself. We're gonna start with number 5. Billy drunk as fuck. Tampa Bay gonna be sorry as a bitch. I ain't gonna lie. I don't give a damn. Only thing they did good in the draft was draft shot or sign Shiloh. So now they got more media, all of that shit. That's the only thing they did in the draft. I don't give a fuck about Tampa Bay. Sorry. The Lions. I do think that the Lions gonna make some noise, but it's hard because of who the number one team should be. The Lions offense, dynamic, right? Defense, they get back their star player. His leg looked like shit though, so I don't know how good he really gonna be. Um, I don't know how good Hutch really gonna be. Like his rehab looked like his leg real fucking flimsy and shit. That's a hard injury. They fucked his leg up. His leg was fucked up. So I don't know. Um, I don't know how good they're gonna be on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they still gonna be real fucking dominant. Number 3 should be the number 1 team because they just won the fucking Super Bowl. Why in the fuck would they not be the number 1 team? I don't know. Uh, Once Billy gets back, he walking up now. I don't know why the Eagles wouldn't be the number 1 fucking team. That don't make sense to me. They just went and got better, and they just stopped the most dominant team we have seen in the last 5 years. Like they shitted on them. It was bad, and they went and got better. So I don't understand how they're not Billy's number 1 team. Kansas City is still fucking Kansas City. So I would have them as the number 2 team. I would have them as the number 2 team because they were just in the Super Bowl and they didn't even play well. Pat Mahomes had like an off season, and that's crazy because he still looked good. Travis Kelce became a Republican overnight. Grew a beard, looked like he wanted to pull people over and write tickets. I don't know if he know how to play football anymore because of Taylor Swift. So, but they still made it. They still got Andy Reid. Andy Reid over there, ice in his beard, shit like that. He don't give a fuck. Still calling the games well. So yeah, there's that. Now Billy's number 1, and now I'm gonna add him back because he's back in here. Yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
It's a little biased. It's a little biased, but I respect it. Lamar. I think Lamar's window is closing, and I ain't saying he gonna be sorry. I just think the expectation for people, he on that same type of time Josh Allen should have been on. You got to beat the big team to make it. Neither one of them has done that yet, and I think you give Lamar 2 more years. You got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry still do what Derrick Henry does.
We extended
Y'all don't have no fucking wide receiver yet. Well, y'all just got LeJontay Western. I think he gonna add some dynamics to y'all. Shout out to Colorado. I think he gonna add some dynamics to y'all because he can catch. Y'all got a wide receiver that can catch. Zay Flowers was top 15 receiver, but he was still top 15 in drops as well. So yeah.
So you're wrong on both those ends. He was a top 5 receiver in the top
ain't no
5.
top 5.
Yes, he was.
Oh, no, he wasn't no top 5.
Yep. I think he was number 5. But
I don't believe that.
actually, here. Let me. You look it up. Let me just explain some of my things. Now, I'm gonna talk to you about the biasness. That's the first thing. I've never ever had the Ravens as a Super Bowl favorite. I have never ever had them as the number 1 team. And even the what's up, Susie Smith? Hey, appreciate you coming in.
Hey, TT. That's my aunt Susie.
Hey, TT. Hey, sorry. I would have said it earlier. But with I've never picked the Ravens to win the AFC. I've never picked them to even be the best in football. I've never done that. Now, this year is so different. The team is so good. The offensive line is great. Lamar should have won the MVP this year. But DEI is still a thing and happening. So they had to give it to Josh Allen, which I guess we understand kind of on this show. And the the addition of Hopkins, I understand where everyone's saying, like, oh, he is old. I'm not saying he's a young cat. I'm not saying any of that. He's the guy you can rely on for 2 throws, for 2 third downs to get those first downs. And I think those are going to be big for the Ravens. I think, again, if you've watched every Ravens game, and I know a lot of our fans haven't, Lamar's regular season has always been incredible. His playoff games have not been incredible by any stretch of the imagination. Now, his second half last year was incredible. And I think if he didn't have such a poor first half, we would be hyping him up almost like I am right now. If he can do that for a full game, he is deadly in the playoffs, or he would be deadly in the playoffs if everything comes to fruition, where I think it will this year specifically. I think Josh Allen has 100 times more pressure than a Lamar Jackson, and the only reason I'm going to go through that is because the last 2 years, the Bills were the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, and they didn't make it. The Ravens, even after an incredible season, were not the favorites to go to the Super Bowl. It was still Buffalo over them. And I think this year, the Ravens are the favorite, and I think this is the year that Lamar takes his steps to becoming the best not Lamar. The Ravens become the best team in the NFL, and this is where, if they don't at least get to the Super Bowl, this is where the Lamar haters, who already are just too loud and too obnoxious, but where the Lamar haters are going to kind of have justification for the hate of Lamar. But again, if you're going to praise the Josh Allens and the Justin Herberts for doing what Lamar is doing, and then crushing Lamar because he's not getting there because he has a Derrick Henry and blah, blah, blah. But like you said, Tonio, the receivers, not great. The receivers are not great, and we're acting like Lamar has all these 5 stars. He has all these all-pros, Pro Bowlers that to just throw the rock to. It's kind of like when the Lakers got Westbrook, and we were like, oh, well, they got Westbrook. Like, no, you're not getting DeAndre Hopkins from 2012. You're getting 2025 DeAndre Hopkins. Way different cat. It's already been to Tennessee, didn't really do much. Went to Kansas City, got to a Super Bowl, technically. And you know what I'm saying? Now we're just ring chasing and trying to bounce what we can. Now, Derrick Henry is a different story. He's going to do for the Ravens. I can't fathom what else he's going to do. He had 1,900 yards last season. Hey, he's going to be an MVP candidate. Maybe that's why Lamar didn't win the MVP. Lamar Jackson has the tied for the most perfect passer rating games ever. That doesn't get talked about enough because he is so athletic. He's going to destroy. I think if he gets to a Super Bowl, you look at his NFC record, crushes NFC teams because they're not ready for what he can do, especially on the ground and with all that speed. Now, Tonio, I do understand the Eagles' argument. They should be the best team because they just won. Now, I just want to see, because they went the year they went to the Super Bowl and they lost to Kansas City, right? They came back the next year. This is great. Yeah, we should do that every time. Go back to how it was. Yeah, why don't we do this every time?
I don't know. I feel like I'm too close.
Dude, I'm taking up this whole profile. You're talking about you're too close.
Yeah. So with your breakdown with the Lamar, you spot on. It's dead accurate. The expectations from real football fans, I think, is where you got to look and be like, including you. Like, I hear you about the Bills, but we know what the Bills do. Like, we know that. But we know Lamar, like, bro, y'all have better games against the Chiefs than the Bills do. Always. And it's just y'all go away from the game plan that don't make sense. Like, hey, let's not run it. Let's make Lamar uncomfortable. Because I'm not saying he's not a passing quarterback. He's proven that. He's definitely a passing quarterback. But
yeah,
I just think that you got to let Lamar play his game. And y'all don't do that when it come into pressure situations. Because you go back to the NFC argument, right? You go against the best team in the NFC in the 49ers, and Lamar fucking crushes them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he killed them.
What a fucking Christmas that was. That was awesome.
And it's like, damn, they are murdering these dudes. But then you get to the AFC with Pat, and you like, let's try to make him play like Pat. No, let's let him play like Lamar because Lamar is an MVP. Lamar, we acting like Lamar ain't an MVP. He is.
Yeah.
He is. Should have won MVP this year. Like I'll keep arguing that. It was a DEI MVP that they gave to Josh Allen. I don't care. They got rid of DEI. They got rid of DEI after giving it to a white dude. That's crazy. Don't make sense. But I don't. The Ravens have been good.
Who has more pressure? Long. Who has more pressure, Lamar or Josh Allen?
The wide receiver or the running back.
That's not the question. Who has more pressure?
It's Lamar, bro, because they didn't want him to be a quarterback at first, Billy. They said he wasn't a quarterback. So now you got to prove these people right with a ring. Not for me. I'm just saying for the naysayers. Let a naysayer know.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I didn't know what kind of naysayer we were talking about. But Tonio, that's what I'm saying. Lamar, I don't think Lamar has more pressure because the way other football fans have said, oh, he chokes in the big games. But Josh Allen, on the other hand, because he went to that overtime with Kansas City in the playoffs, he doesn't have a more. I expect him to.
It's different though, Billy. And the reason why it's different is because when Lamar lose, fans and everybody blame it on Lamar. When the Bills lose, Josh Allen was playing by himself.
Yep.
Lamar don't get that grace.
But see, and Antonio, this is where it gets kind of. I'm not going to say weird. I don't know what word to use because Lamar played a horrible first half against the Bills. Horrible. Yeah. Now, it was capped off by a drop by Mark Andrews. Absolutely. So it was easier to throw the blame towards Mark Andrews. But
they didn't. They blamed Lamar for the pass. They was like, why was the pass so low?
That was silly. Yes. The argument should have been, and I came on the next week right before the Super Bowl, Tony. You can attest to this. Lamar, if he didn't play so bad in the first half, it wouldn't have been the same game. But because he did, he's so great that like I don't know. I've never been that good, so I can't even wrap my mind around how to be that good. So you just think every play, because you are better than everyone on the field, like, oh, this play I got it. And it's like sometimes you lose that play. We just talked about it, right? You win the battle sometimes and you don't win the war. Where Lamar, every battle he goes into, I'm going to win this battle. And it's like, if you lose this one, that hurts us to get to the, you know what I'm saying? That's our stereotype.
But like I said, like Josh Allen going to get that grace that Lamar won't get. Like Lamar played terrible.
His running back had the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL.
Even though Lamar played terrible in the first half, was a great game call by the coaches in the first half. Exactly. No. So you gotta like it's other aspects that don't get looked at with certain players. Lamar being one of them, and then he got the pressure on his shoulder because don't nobody like a running quarterback. They and everybody's sliding down, but Lamar is the face of that mobile quarterback now. So they like, I told you it wouldn't work. You gotta get back to the pocket.
Even though he's the best.
That's what I'm saying. So now you gotta. You gotta. It's more pressure on Lamar because he ain't just doing it for the wins. He's doing it for like future QBs that can move like him, right? Because it's a lot.
I'm gonna ask you two questions. Do you think he's also the pressure of the quote unquote black quarterback? Even though Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl, this was asked of me at work today. Not today, yesterday.
So yes and no, because Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback. A lot of people be like, oh, he only do the tush push, but we showed the clip weeks ago of him getting real mobile. And we saw, if you were a real football fan, you saw what Jalen Hurts, 24-2 in Alabama running that hole. So he mobile.
And then Oklahoma only lost one game.
So,
two if you
can. Yeah and no. And it's just because Jalen Hurts is not as mobile as Lamar. Lamar, most athletic quarterback in the league. hands down.
I mean, easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they showed like a stat, and Lamar probably had like maybe 100 or 200 less rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey, and it's like,
and that he was the MVP consideration, and it's like, no.
So Lamar do got pressure on his shoulders. Because like I said,
I'm not saying he has zero. I'm saying I think it is on Josh Allen more because again, we say, oh, he's doing it by himself, blah 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 blah.
But it's Buffalo. It's Buffalo. They ain't never won.
No. Oh, that's good. Yeah, because we have won one.
Yeah, y'all won in the 2010s.
2012.
The 2010s. So 2012 would count. Yeah. So
no. And see, man, that's where you are right. And I think because the Ravens, look at it organizationally too. You know what I'm saying? Like the Chiefs, even though they weren't winning Super Bowls, they were a great organization for a while. They had some bad seasons, but then they came kind of back. Even with Alex Smith, they were the number 1 seed. I think maybe twice, but I'm 100% positive it was once.
Yeah, but the Chiefs been relevant. They had Priest home years. They had the fucking
Larry Johnson, great team. Dexter McCluster.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got the name right.
Shooter.
Shooter. But it's the same thing with the Ravens, where great organization now, and then the Bills after the 4 straight Super Bowl losses just were almost dumpster fires. You know, you get Fitzmagic in there. They played well.
I mean, they was pretty good with Marshawn too, and they had Marshawn in.
No, they were, and because Fred Taylor was also there. No one ever talks about that. But they weren't playoff. They never made the playoffs until Tyrod Taylor, 10-6, got him to the playoffs. And then now they're like, oh, we're kind of okay. And then, you know, obviously they had that bad year. Tyrod gets hurt. They had a bad year. Then it's Josh Allen. Now it's Josh Allen in Buffalo, and now they're making the playoffs every year. I don't think they missed the playoffs except Josh Allen's first year, if I'm right. Whereas the Ravens, we missed the playoffs once with Lamar, I think, and he was hurt that year.
Yeah.
No, I think we've been in the playoffs every year Lamar started. He had a horrible playoff game against San Diego. That will be something I talk about for the rest of my life. That was such a bad game because he just wasn't ready for the NFL playoffs. Now, second question, Tony. This one was asked today. Lamar Jackson had some sweet braids because he just came out a couple days ago and was saying, "Hey, we're on a vengeance tour." He defended Mark Andrews. He was talking about himself, obviously, where he needs to play better. And I love a quarterback that he could be the best quarterback of all time and still just be like, I just need to be better. I need to put my guys in better positions, blah, blah, blah. I just love that talk. But it was asked of me at work today by another white person who just didn't really understand, again, the black culture. We've talked about that 100 times, Tonio. Lamar Jackson's hair. It's, to me, it's just a cool, it's not cornrows, obviously, but it's just like a patterned cornrows. And I didn't have an answer to this question. Which this person at work was not happy that I couldn't answer. Like I really felt they thought I could answer this question, and I couldn't. And they were just like, "What would you compare? Is Lamar Jackson? Does he have long hair? Because when he had the, it wasn't dreads, but it was like braided-ish style dreads, where it was like a square with a braid, right? And I was like, oh, that is like a Trevor Lawrence kind of hairstyle for a black man. What is the new, maybe the Iverson style kind of cornrows with the sweet pattern? It's just, that took so long to get his hair to do that. What style, what kind of hairstyle for a white person would they compare it to?
Nothing. You white. That's the answer. You should have told them you're white. Y'all can't do shit we can do with our hair. I'm sorry that it sound like that, but you can't.
You don't think I can get cornrows? If I had hair, you don't think I can get cornrows?
My fault. I immediately looked up at your head.
It's just beaming, just sweaty.
I mean, you could, but people.
I'll hit you with that fucking Man Ray, fucking.
Yeah. People would talk about you, but nah, I don't even know what kind of hair Lamar. I ain't seen Lamar Jackson hair, but he just got Last time I seen Lamar, he just had plaits. That's it.
What'd you call it?
Plaits. He just had a bunch of twists all over his head. A bunch of plaits. They was just hanging down.
No, so now, so imagine an AI cornrow. Obviously, it's literally in rows, right?
Yeah.
But when his press conference happened, it's like instead of a corn like a row, it's like it's the same as like braids, but it's like not braids, but a cornrow braid, right? Where you go, it's like a zigzag pattern.
I've never heard nobody pronounce cornrows like you saying it. Like you saying corn entirely, and that's so funny to me. I mean, it's still just braids,
right? That's what you call them.
Cornrows. I don't know. It's the way you saying corn that makes it sound like it ain't supposed to be what it is.
So if I say cornrows, what would you say?
Yeah, just say it. Like, don't pronounce corn as hard as you is. Just cornrows. Like, you see how cornrows. Not
you're saying the same thing.
I'm not, bro. You saying it's cornrows. I'm saying cornrows. It's different. You heard I changed it. Either way, we getting off. He just got braids, Billy. Just tell the white person in your galley it's just braids, and it's something he can't get, or she. If she could, but they gonna talk about her bad if it's a she. She probably shouldn't.
She needs to get it. I'm gonna say that you said. I'm gonna tell her that you told her to get it.
Yeah, and she gonna get her ass with if there's some black CSs there. I hope.
What is it? Cultural appropriation?
Yeah, that's what they
so, dude,
say.
If I had hair and I had cornrows, you'd be mad at me?
No, I would just laugh every day. Because you look like Joe Dirt.
Dirte. Take it easy.
Same thing. But we had an hour and 5. It ain't a lot, but Billy, before we get up out of here, we got to go over college because we got to an hour really quick and it ain't a lot to talk about. So, Billy, I'm going to let you break down this schedule for your favorite team in the league, and then we'll do it for mine. Shooter, get up in here.
Dude, I'm so excited for you to be here.
Billy, the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
What do you see?
So, I'm gonna give 2 shout-outs. Number one is to Shooter because I've been seeing a lot of triple option. That's with Urban Meyer, Mark Ingram, and some other white dude that I don't know. They did this for a couple SEC schools, and I just was so excited to do it for our show. I'm literally stealing it from them. But if the shout out to Shooter was because he liked them, so that's the only reason I think I saw them in my feed. But I saw Urban, he was picking games, so he was doing for like a 50-50 game, he was literally doing 0.5, right? Yeah. And it was I've never seen it done that way. And I think, Tonio, that's where I'm going to take it for this one. But I'll have you run down the list, and I'll give you my win-loss.
All right, so let's go. Y'all opening it up with Arkansas Pine Bluff. I don't think we need to go over that one.
Dub.
Then the next week, Kent State.
Dub again. It's in Lubbock. They don't know what to do. 2 dubs.
The next week, y'all going to a little bit tougher competition in Oregon State. What y'all got going?
We still got them at home. Dub again. That's 3-0. Let's go, baby. Hopefully, Joey's in the top 25.
All right, so y'all top 25 now. Now y'all go to Utah. What's happening in Utah, Billy?
Give me 0.5. So I got 3.5 wins.
Okay.
I'm going to show you at the end.
All right. So you half a win in Utah. Now you're going to Houston. What are we looking like?
This is a full dub. That Houston team is not good. Tom Herman had that Houston team rocking. He left. Ass. What an ass of a program Houston is.
So you're at 4.5 right now.
4.5.
Right. So you go to Kansas.
Loss.
Okay.
I like Kansas. I like what they're doing.
Now you're at Arizona State.
They're still dealing right after losing to Texas. I think that's a way bigger deal than people are making out. I like them, except for against fast-paced offenses. So I'm taking a dub here too.
So, damn, 5.5.
5.5. Right.
Oklahoma State. Now,
Give me a half here.
Okay, so we had 6 games.
Yeah.
Kansas State. That's an L, Billy.
This is an L just because I'm picking an upset. That's the only reason I'm taking this L. Okay?
BYU.
Win. Outright.
The same BYU that beat the same Colorado that beat y'all.
Yes.
All right. UCF.
Dub, for sure. That UCF program doesn't know what's going on right now.
And last but not least, West Virginia.
Very close. Dub.
So, y'all only lost 2 games?
Yes, I think this is Joey's year, dude. This is his maybe a 12 seed in the playoff, like one of those SMU kind of let's let Texas Tech in kind of games. That's where I'm feeling it for the Big 12. Not a great conference. We could go to the conference championship. If we lose, that's probably bad. But we go and who would we play? Utah maybe again. And I think if we play Utah again at Jerry World, that's all Texas Tech fans right there.
I ain't gonna argue it because I need to watch it. Let's go from you.
Also, can I give one more quick shout out though?
For sure.
So College Football 26 is coming out July 7th.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is the number 6 team in that game.
Ranked?
Yes. Overalls. Not ranked.
But
okay, overall, it's a 6th overall ranked team.
That might mean something. Let's go from the Red Raiders, Billy, and you give me the same rundown.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear to hear you just talk about it. I love it. Georgia State at Ole Miss.
Dog walk.
Okay. Dog walk.
Yeah, we're gonna beat them by 60.
All right. That's on tape now, Tony. At the University of Kentucky in Lexington.
Owe them an ass whooping. That's another dub.
Oh, we do. You do owe them an ass. That's
owe them an ass whooping.
Week two to start SEC play is crazy to me. That's crazy. I was thinking maybe like another like warm up game. You know what I'm saying? Like like Mississippi Tech or something. Just Rhode Island. Just something.
Yeah, something.
Nope. Right into the
SEC play.
Arkansas at home.
We beating Arkansas. I don't know what the fuck that program got going on for real.
Okay. Tulane, you get it home. A former SEC team.
Tulane, always a close game with us. I don't know why. We beat them, but it's always a close game. So, yeah, we 4-0 right now.
All right, I got you. Now, home against LSU.
We owe them. We shouldn't have lost to them last year, but we did. So you can't.
Did y'all lose? Y'all lost in Baton Rouge, though.
No, we lost in Oxford, I want to say.
Was it in Oxford? I just don't think.
Yeah, it was in Oxford because we at home this year. Oh, no. It was in
LSU. Yeah, that's what I was thinking because y'all are on the same side, even though the conferences don't matter, but or the divisions don't matter. Washington State.
Well, we're going to beat LSU. We're going to beat Washington State.
Absolutely. I'm with you. All right. Georgia.
We beat the dog shit out of Georgia last year. I know a lot of people don't remember it, but we did.
Yep.
Kirby Reed up. This is going to be my half. I'm going to give you a half. I just don't know what that defense is going to look like because he did re-up. I still think we win it, but, you know.
All right, so you're at 6.5 right now. Go into Oklahoma.
Ass whipping. They still shocked that they in the SEC.
Oklahoma who did they beat last year that we were like, oh shit, what the fuck?
I don't know, but I went and seen them get the fuck beat out of them by Tennessee, and I was like, okay, yeah, gotta win, whatever. All
right, in my opinion, a quote unquote lucky home game against South Carolina.
South Carolina got really good at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But we beat the shit out of South Carolina. So yeah, going with Ole Miss again.
So Tonio, I just want to double down. You're at 7.5.
You sure? Wait. I'm at 8.5.
Excuse me, 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who this C team is, so
Homecoming. Ass whooping.
Is this Chattanooga?
Yeah, I think so.
I probably should have done some research. I didn't. I just put the picture up.
I think it is Chattanooga, but I could be wrong. Give me a second. It is. Nah, that's the Citadel.
Oh, you guys are taking an Alabama page out. I got it. The Citadel. Easy dub.
Easy dub. Florida. Oldham ass whooping. Like a bat.
In another, Antonio, you could be against me because I'm just sitting here. Another luck out home game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have Florida. You don't like Florida with DJ Lagway and everybody this year?
No. We beating them. We owe them ass whooping.
Okay. And then last but not least, the Egg Bowl.
Fuck Mississippi State. Fuck all of them, bro. Fuck maroon, the color. Fuck a cowbell. Fuck a cow. Fuck all of them. Fuck the agricultural side of Mississippi. Fuck all of them. We beating the shit out of them.
So do they go to the SEC title game?
Yes.
In play who?
I don't know. Texas.
Do they beat Texas?
Bro, we gonna be Ole Miss gonna be 3 seed in the playoffs next year. I'm saying it here.
If Lane Kiffin has an underwhelming season, let's say hypothetically, Tonio, he loses 4 games. Is he out?
Yeah. No.
Okay. I just want to double check with you.
No. Well, that has been a dope ass show. I appreciate everybody that's been in here the whole time. We appreciate y'all. Next week, we're going to have way more football, training camps, all of that. We're going to end basketball and all of that. Billy, you got anything?
No. Shout out to my son tomorrow. We got his tonsils taken out, so just Lord be with me for that. I know that's always a scary situation for a parent, but, hey, great odds. He'll sleep better, all that jazz. He won't be snoring. Hopefully he won't come down with me and his mama just busting in our bed talking about, hey, I got to sleep in here. So
yeah. Shout out to the surgery tomorrow. Shout out to the doctors that's going to put him through the surgery. And we're going to get through it good. Billy, it's been a great show. And we'll be back next week.
Appreciate it like always, Tonio. Thanks, man. We'll see y'all later. Thanks.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Brickshottas with Billy Antonio.
Fit them old bricks. Ballin' like a with all these bricks.